Well, hey there. Welcome to the Thursday show. I'm Pastor Chelsea, and this is my good friend,
Pastor Dan.
Pastor Dan. And we have found yet another reason we could come together and record a Thursday show together.
Yep, I've been thinking of them since the last one, and so I threw out this idea that, hey, I have more things to talk about.
Always.
And she said I could come and join you guys. So
Yes. No, I'm always happy for an excuse for us to do an interview.
Yeah.
And we know like one or two things in life, so we've got
Yeah.
things we can talk about. Well, today we wanted to talk a little bit about our college experiences and what we learned from them. And
Yeah.
that was a little bit of time ago, wasn't it?
A little
Especially
bit.
for you, because you're really old.
Yeah. So we're coming up, I think I graduated in 2004 from college. So,
Okay.
So it's been a bit. I started in 1999. If you did the math, I squeezed my 4 years into 5.
Oh.
And so, not everybody can say that.
Yeah, that takes skill.
And so I started college over 20 years ago. It just makes me feel old. What about you?
I graduated from college in 2009. I went to Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. It was a really great experience. So I'm really bad at math. What are we in, 2021?
Yeah.
So that's like 12, 13
Wow.
something years ago.
What we just learned is that we're old.
And we're not good at math.
Yeah, some of you out there are going, you're still young pups, and I go, maybe,
Yeah.
but I
Thank
feel
you.
old,
I
so-
like those people.
Yeah. So I forgot. I went to Bethel. It was college, Bethel College. They
Yes.
changed the name now to Bethel University, but
Yes.
that's where I went, Bethel College. So
Yeah, well, lots of people in our denomination go to Bethel College
Yeah.
because there's a cool affiliation with the missionary church and with Bethel College.
Yeah.
And actually, even though I was at Moody, a lot of my friends were at Bethel. And so I remember there was a train that I could take from Chicago over to
South Bend.
Mishawaka,
Yeah,
South Bend, and see you guys. And so I would do that a lot on the weekends. So Bethel College has a special place in my heart,
Yeah.
too. Well, I thought we would start today just talking about some of our experiences because I would like to think that we are still learning and growing. And I know for me, at least, there's a lot of lessons I learned from college. And looking back, I could give myself a lot of advice on what I did right or what I did wrong. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to start with this question. Dan, what is maybe a mistake you made in college? And it's like we're dishing out the dirt.
The types of mistakes. I'll give maybe more of a serious one and then
Okay.
also a fun one. So
Okay.
let's start with the fun one the first.
All right.
Probably the biggest mistake I made in college was not showing up for class.
That would seem like an obvious one.
Yep.
But I made that mistake too a couple times.
I may or may not have gotten a couple professors to add an attendance policy to get them to be a part of that. And so that would probably be more of my goofy one, but it's true. Probably the other biggest mistake is I kind of took college for granted. I took full advantage of the social life of college.
Yeah.
Like my friends hanging out, playing intramurals, doing all that stuff was great. But I will tell you the academic side, I did not put as much effort. And I think a lot of us, when you're going for your undergrad, that's kind of where it's at. But I look at that now and look back and I go, man, there are some classes that I look in life right now that probably would have been really helpful. I wish I would have taken notes. I wish I would have done whatever. And so probably one of my regrets of my bachelor's degree would have been not taking it as serious as I should have at the time. What about you?
I think for me, sometimes I can get overwhelmed, like if there's a lot of options before me. And I remember going to college, I felt a little bit overwhelmed. And so I didn't do as many of like the extra activities or social events or like clubs or groups because I was so worried about getting my homework done. And looking back, some of my best memories are the clubs, the social events, and those were things I learned a lot from too. So I kind of wish I had said yes to a few more opportunities that I had in college.
And I wish I would have said no.
So if we could find the happy medium somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So if you could then go back in time and give young college Dan a piece of advice or a little bit of advice, what sort of things would you tell your younger self?
Number one, it goes fast.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every stage of my life, and so I'm happy to be an adult and not in college. But that time is a great memory for me, and so it happens fast. But also, that time there is some learning that can be done, both academically and socially, and to actually, hey, past Dan, take advantage of the academics just as much as the social life, and you will use it at some point in time someday. And what you have advice for?
Well, kind of similar to what we said before, like be in the moment and and seize those opportunities when they come, because it's such a precious and short time. 4 years feels long, I think, when you're first starting, but it goes by like that. And so like being in the moment and not trying to I know for a little bit at the beginning of my college experience, I was almost trying to be at college in Chicago and still participate in some activities back here in Port Huron. And I'm glad that I didn't do that because I was able to be more fully present.
Yeah.
There's a quote by Jim Elliott that says, "Wherever you are, be all there." And I heard that at the time, and I'm glad I listened to it because that helped me be more present in
That's
college.
good.
So what would maybe be some of the good lessons also that you learned? We've talked kind of about the negative, the things we learned from that.
I mean, the good lessons I learned, one, I had great friends, you know, to enjoy the times that you had. But I will say that there are some really key things for, I mean, the degree I got is what I'm actually doing. Not everybody has that experience, right? Like, you get this degree and you're going, man, I'm not even in that field anymore. But for me, I was a youth ministry major, and I became a youth pastor. And I'll tell you, some of those good experiences were being able to take what I learned in the classroom and add it to the practical side of ministry, and put those things together in a really cool way that helped me shape a lot of how I did youth ministry for so many years here at Colonial Woods, and even before the church I was at first before I got here.
I think that's really cool because for you, you know, you studied youth ministry, became a youth pastor. That's obviously a very direct correlation. But I think it's so cool how God leads us, because sometimes even the degree or the thing you study may not obviously impact the career that you're in, and yet God uses all of those experiences and all of that education together. For me, my degree was communication, and I kind of at first thought I was going to be more of like an itinerant speaker that would travel all over the place, and then God really called me to Colonial Woods, and I'm really thankful that he did. But it's cool how even my communications experience has really laid a foundation for me as a youth pastor, and then even now in my new role in online ministries, I'm pulling out a lot of the things that I learned through those experiences.
That's good.
So Dan, tell me then, how did your college experience, how did it set you up for your future? You kind of talked about how it's impacted your job, but how did just your college experience kind of ease you into adulting in a way?
Yeah. It's weird. Like in high school, you think you have all the answers, and you do, right? If you're a high school student, you have.
I thought we still had all the answers.
But when you get out on your own, especially when you're able to go away to college or experience college, not just all online, but in a community or things like that, you learn that you don't know everything, and you learn a lot by mistakes and failures. But I feel like what college did for me, more than setting me up for my future job, was setting me up for life. Being able to get out and learning that money does not just come from my parents' wallet, that I have to figure out how to earn that. My late night Taco Bell runs, and where's that financially coming from? But time management and things like that, it really begins to prepare. Some of us create unhealthy habits, but I will tell you that a lot of those experiences I had set me up for life beyond college. And then also for my career, you know. I obviously, we talked already about me going into youth ministry, but I feel that I'm prepared in a lot of ways for a lot of different degrees if I wanted to, or different career paths, because college set me up, not necessarily the academic class itself, but just how it taught me how to learn, taught me how to study, how time management, things like that for the future. And
I think something else that college does too is it often provides a safe place for learning those lessons.
Yeah.
Because I know I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I, wasn't always good at like the responsibilities that are given you or the time management or whatever. And that provides a place where even when you fail, you're still learning from that failure, so it's still a learning tool, which is a really good thing. Well, I know we have some really exciting opportunities at Colonial Woods with this new BU at CW program that you've been kind of heading up.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the BU at CW program, it stands for Bethel University at Colonial Woods, my alma mater, Bethel University. They have started doing what we call extension sites. And these extension sites, they go to different churches or organizations, say, would you like to be an extension of Bethel University and actually be a campus of Bethel University? By doing that, we take on the full responsibility of the education of the person in conjunction with Bethel. And so what the highlights of this program are, it's super affordable.
Yes.
If you're gonna
everybody at home is like, yes.
Yeah, if you're going to go to a Christian university, typically the average Christian university currently, if you live on campus, is anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000. The BU at CW program is $10,000 a year, $5,000 a semester. And all the scholarships, the FAFSA, all that will work towards that.
I know we weren't good at math before, but I know the math on that. That's a better number.
It's a huge number. The other thing is it's accredited. That's a big deal, is that making sure every class you take is accredited. It's done through Bethel, and so it's not just a third party education that you're going, man, who is this school? Every your degree will be from Bethel. Your classes are done through an accreditation, through national process, and so
it's got good. Bethel's name on it.
It's got Bethel's name on it, and it's good. The other thing I love about this is that it's done in your hometown. It's in community. We do it here at the church. There's a community of people. We currently have 2 students that are involved, and the stories that I could tell you just about how this has influenced them and impacted them is huge. To be able to have community with our church, community with each other, and how that interacts. And those are some really big highlights of the program.
One of the things I really like about the program is by the fact that the students are here at our church doing their classes, there's also, it's not an internship, but it's like this kind of interim educational experience that they're getting. And so there's a lot of just hands-on learning that they're getting to have that goes in conjunction with their degrees that they're studying. And I don't know the students super well, but I know them well enough that I have seen tremendous growth in both of them just over the past few months that they've been a part of this program.
Yeah. Most of your classes are done online, and so it's still the online feel, but we do those here on site. And so we ask the students to come be part of this, but there are a few that are done via Zoom with all the other extension sites. So currently this year there are 5 extension sites that had been part of this year, and this was the very first year Bethel launched this. And so they're actually in class with all the other extension sites. Our students last week actually got to take a field trip and go down to one of the other sites in Indiana, and they did live teaching with 4 of the 5 sites with other people, and that's a really cool opportunity. So they got to see the program in full of what's happening. There's actually supposed to be another 15 to 20 sites joining for the fall of 2021, and so this program Bethel is really pushing to do some things. One of the cool things is you might be asking is what are the degrees? Like what kind of areas of study? Well, they are offering 3 associate degrees and 6 Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degrees, which is pretty cool. Associate's degrees in ministry leadership, general studies, and this one's brand new. It's going to be in the fall this year that I'm really excited about. It's called a pre-education degree. It's where you do 2 years here with us and getting a pre-education, and then you transfer to Bethel if you want. At the end of your 2 years here, you have an associate's degree in pre-education, but then you can transfer to the actual site, Bethel, and do your last 2 years to get a bachelor's degree in education, which is really cool. Our bachelor's degrees that we have business administration, business marketing, cybersecurity, ministerial leadership, behavioral and social sciences, and as well as we're calling it a multidisciplinary studies, which that's a big word for you pick 3 concentrations that you like, and then you get to study in 3 of those, but have a Bachelor of Arts in that area.
It's like a build your own degree.
It really is.
That's cool.
That kind of sets you up to be able to do multiple things in life. So
that's awesome. There's so many opportunities there. Now, what kind of student are you looking for? Because I think with this program, they're really looking for those who've kind of just graduated or just recently
we're looking for
a
traditional student. You are taking full credit hour. You're taking 15 to 17 credit hours, so you have to have the time. So juniors and seniors in high school, this would be a great time to look at this. Seniors in high school looking for this fall, we'd love to have that. But we're open to transfer students. We have a couple students from SC4 or other colleges where they got their associate's degree and they're saying, can I finish my bachelor degree at a more affordable cost? This would be a great opportunity to do that as well, where you can transfer in and get the full accreditation from Bethel and have your associate's degree maybe from somewhere else, but get your bachelor's from Bethel and kind of partner with us with what we're doing.
Well, all of that sounds super awesome. And if you know somebody who could benefit from learning about this program, I'd encourage you to just even share this Thursday show episode with somebody. It gives you an overview of all that there is to offer. And if they're interested in actually applying, they just go to our church page, cwmc.church/BU, or if you're on our homepage, there's a button right at the top right corner where you can find it to get more information about how to apply, what degrees are offered, and get you in connection with Pastor Dan, because he'd be our site director who would help answer your questions.
Yeah, and I love to chat about it. Even you're not wasting my time if even you're inquiring but don't sign up, because we love talking about this and just getting a good buzz about what this is and how we can help people. We're really looking, how can we make the Christian college experience, the Christian university experience at an affordable rate for people, but with still the same accreditation and the community that you have if you're actually on campus. That's really our main goal. And so we'd love to see as many students as possible to be a part of this. And so we'd love for you to sign up.
I love that. Well, Pastor Dan, thank you for coming on. I'm sure this will not be the last time we see your face on the Thursday
I'll think of some
show.
more topics.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple weeks and we'll probably see you on here again. But thank you guys for joining us today for the Thursday show. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, I hope you have a great Thursday. See ya.